What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Isn't It Crazy podcast. It's the Monday after Valentine's Day, and my wallet is feeling a lot lighter. Between dinner, Ubers, drinks, a necklace, shit adds up. I feel bad for the guys that have to make ends meet, and maybe their job isn't paying them well. And shit, I mean, if Christmas kicks you in the balls, Valentine's Day just comes over and chokes you out. It's no joke. And the standards some girls have is insane. I saw my girlfriend scrolling through Instagram, and you just see this Instagram hoe opening the door and it into some dude's mansion, and there's roses everywhere and candles, and then she walks up to the bed, and there's this box of designer roses, and inside those designer roses there's $100 bills. You got me fucked up. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know anybody with a mansion. So step one's fucked. You could do that whole rose thing, but I'm not putting $100 in no rose. That's a lot of money, especially for Valentine's Day is just a day to show somebody how much you love them and appreciate them. And sometimes people get lost in the materialistic part of it. They want the best roses, and they want fucking diamond necklaces. It's weird. Social media sets a weird standard for all of this. You're probably wondering why there's an I love you, Rudy montage of balloons here. That's what my girlfriend decided to give me. And and that brand new chair. So my next guest is going to be very comfortable. But what I learned from my girl was that to be a good gift giver, you have to listen to what your partner's saying. I've been mentioning the chair for a while now. As the podcast keeps going on, I want to expand, and I want to get better chairs and better mics and stuff like that. So she listens to it, and then she goes, okay, that's what I need to give him for Christmas or Valentine's Day. So you have to listen to your partner, and I learned that from her. Get them stuff that they want and need and are going to use every day, because not only are they going to appreciate it more, they're going to use it every day. And every time they use it, they're going to be thinking about who gave it to them and why they gave it to them. So things like this definitely made my day. Last Thursday, I woke up late because the night before I was just playing Apex, and, I lose track of time. So I'll go to sleep pretty late. And then I woke up late. And if you're in Chicago, it snowed on Thursday. When I got out, there was a foot of snow on my car. And I just said to myself, this is the shittiest day. And work wasn't that great either. So getting home to something like this, it changed my mood. I was happy. I didn't care about the rough day I had just had. It made me appreciate her. It just made me feel like somebody cared. And for the guy that's struggling to get his girlfriend, who, like me, I don't fucking know anybody with a mansion, and I wouldn't even tell you where to get those roses. Instead of going the basic bitch way where you're just going to get roses and chocolates and show up to her house maybe next year, fucking listen to what she's saying. Write that shit down. Notes has this thing where you can lock your notes. So maybe put G ideas, gift ideas. And every time she says she needs something, write it down. And once it gets close to maybe her birthday or Christmas or Valentine's Day, you look around her room or her house, and you're like, all right, she needs this, and I have it on the list, and I can afford it. So believe me, a gift that's thoughtful and they're going to use it, they're going to appreciate it way more than some basic ass roses and chocolates. And that's what I learned after this Valentine's Day, to make things thoughtful. And I think I had a great weekend. We went out to eat at Fleming's in downtown Chicago. It was pretty good. Then we went out with friends. We got drinks, and everybody got drunk, and we were even in a car crash. Not a big one, but I wouldn't say tragic car crash where the car flipped a million times and somebody died. But my friend hit the side of the parking lot wall, and we were just laughing. We were all drunk, and we were just laughing. And she wasn't that drunk, and I don't even know why she was driving, but it was funny. It was a great weekend, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think my bank account enjoyed it. I'm surprised Chase didn't hit me up going these transactions look super suspicious, dude. All you ever do is buy Taco Bell and buy movies on Amazon, and now you're buying Pandora necklaces and roses and out here eating steak and shit like that. So I'm surprised they didn't lock my card right away, but It was a good weekend. Money well spent, I could say that. And even if I didn't have the money, just being with somebody that you care about, you can't go wrong there. So it was fun. I had a great weekend. I'm definitely gonna take this down because the balloons are deflating already. And if anybody else walks in to my room, they're probably gonna think I'm like this self-centered douchebag because they're like, "Oh my god, this kid loves himself so much." But it was a nice and thoughtful gift, and if you guys follow me on social media, I did post it, so there's a backstory for that. You know, it was a Valentine's Day gift, and definitely caught me off guard and put me in a great mood. But Valentine's Day is, I mean, whoever made Valentine's Day so close to Christmas is the devil, you know, and it's cold, especially in Chicago. You're gonna go to dinner. You can't be wearing layers. I was freezing my balls off. So maybe we should like petition to move Valentine's Day to like June in the summer, you know? Give us some time to save up. That'd be fucking dope. Instead of a month away from Christmas. It's like it goes Black Friday, Christmas, Valentine's Day. And I can't live my life like this. I can't be scared to keep checking my bank account, okay? You know? So something's got to change. Put it into like every 4 months, you know, so we get some time to fucking save up and ball out, I guess. I'm totally kidding. I don't know. It's probably not going to change. So other things that happened this weekend was Corey Anderson fought John Blakovic. God, I hate saying foreign dudes' names, especially in the UFC. There's a lot of them. But John knocked out Corey Anderson in the first round. And John Jones was there to see the whole thing because it was in this backyard of Albuquerque. So that changes everything. You know, if Corey would have won, Corey would have been next in line to fight John. And now you can't give him that fight. Unless your name's Conor McGregor, you're not getting a championship fight after a loss. So you would think that Jan is the number one contender for the fight against John Jones at 205, but that's such a boring fight. You know, Jan is kind of like a shittier Reyes, like a one-trick kind of pony. But I do think Jan should fight Reyes, and whoever comes out of there fights John. You know, or John goes to heavyweight, fights there, and then while Reyes and Jan are fighting it out, you get a number one contender for sure. He comes back down and fights whoever won that. It makes it all easier, you know. Reyes does deserve that rematch, and Jan does deserve a title shot. You know, he did just beat the number one contender, or the person we all thought was going to be next. So there's one route the UFC could take. I'm kind of excited to see that. But in other fighting news, next Saturday is Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury for the heavyweight world championship in boxing. And if you've seen the first one, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, the first one was so exciting because you had three main guys in the heavyweight division in boxing. You had Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury is technically the lineal champion. He left because of like personal problems. He was drinking too much and pretty much going the John Jones route where he was doing all these drugs and he got fat and he just kind of like lost it, you know? So he walked away from the sport and left a vacancy of the championship and Deontay got it. So he came back and challenged Deontay Wilder for that title. So the first fight, Tyson did what a lot of people weren't doing against Deontay Wilder. A lot of people were fighting defensively against Deontay Wilder because he has such knockout power. And what Tyson did was not only make him miss, but he boxed him. And 10 out of the 12 rounds, he won. He was winning in the points. He was stick and move, kind of jabbing, making Deontay miss those big shots. And you know, like it felt like a movie because in the movies, the one guy's losing and the other guy's just dominating the whole thing. And just in the last round, the guy who's losing gets that big knockout and everybody goes crazy. And that's what happened. So in the 12th round of the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury fight, Deontay knocked down Fury. And I'm not talking like just knocked him down and he got up, like flatlined him. Fury was on the ground. Hands were touching the canvas. He was just laid out flat. And the referees counting like or 7, 8, 9, 10, and then out of nowhere, fucking Fury just gets up and he's fine and he's like walking. And Deontay was already celebrating. He walked away. He was raising his hands. He thought he had him. And then I get goosebumps just watching the replay of that fight because they had all the drama you want in a fight. And then they ended up drawing. So none of them won. I wasn't mad with the draw. Tyson was winning the whole fight. And then Deontay knocked him down. So, it kind of evens out because did the ref count Fury really slow? He was going like 1 and then like fucking 2. Everybody says it was way more than 10 seconds, and he should have been ruled a knockout. But he got up, and not a lot of guys could say they've done that against Fury. So I was really impressed, and I was like, I got to see this fight again. I think Deontay comes out in this second fight more aggressive and just goes for the knockout instead of trying to box him. And Tyson Fury was talking about going up in weight and knocking Deontay out. But if you couldn't knock out Deontay when you were fast and were kind of jabbing him the whole time, what makes you think that you're going to go shot for shot against one of the best knockout artists in the game today? It's not going to go well. And that's why I'm going to pick Deontay Wilder to win this fight. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Whoever makes the better decisions, it's going to go down to a couple shots. And if you've seen the Stavern versus Deontay Wilder fight, second fights usually don't go well for Deontay's opponents. And Stavern was somebody that, he got knocked the fuck out. First round, just laid out. Because for some reason, Deontay downloads what you did in the last fight and just comes back even better and knows your moves now and knows how it feels to be in the ring with you. And it just becomes way easier for him to knock him out. So I see maybe a 4th round knockout, or it could go all the way, depending on how Tyson Fury actually comes into this fight. That's a big what if. What if Fury comes in and actually boxes him, or he just throws caution to the wind and listens to his new trainer and just gets rocked. I don't know. So just to recap, I see Jan and Reyes fighting for the number 1 contender against John, and I see John going up to heavyweight. And then maybe around December, you could see John fight whoever wins the fight between Reyes and Jan. So we'll see what happens there. And I got Fury in the fight. He's probably going to be a favorite, so I wouldn't put so much money on it unless you think Fury's going to win. But from his last 2 fights, I can't see Fury winning this fight. So I think Deontay wins that and hopefully calls out Anthony Joshua, and we could see who's the best heavyweight in the world. But in other news, I was so hungover this weekend that I got a chance to watch Narcos, the 5th season, and I binged the whole thing. I from start to finish. I did not stop watching it. I was a little sleep deprived, but it was worth it. The tricky shit Netflix does is they trick you into watching the next episode. Especially Narcos, they leave you on this cliffhanger like, fuck, now I gotta watch the next one. Now I gotta see what happens. And this season of Narcos just gets even crazier. And I love Narcos not only because it's true events and I love to hear what actually went down. And it's got that movie quality with that TV show kind of length that allows them to explain in detail what happened, who's this, and why did he play such a big role. And I actually found myself cheering for the drug dealers. Every time they got away from the DEA, I was like, fuck yeah. For some reason, I never liked Kiki Camarera. That was the DEA agent that lost his life. And but come on, dude. That's what snitches get stitches. That's what happens. I'm pretty sure this guy knew what the cartels were capable of. So the more Kiki dug into this corruption thing, he saw that, hey, my government doesn't give a shit. The Mexican government clearly doesn't give a shit. Why? Maybe it was his pride. Maybe he just wanted to be right, or he just saw all these innocent people dying. But other than that, yes, I get it. The drug dealers are bad people. They're terrible people, and they kill hundreds of thousands of Mexicans. But they did a lot of good shit too. There's a scene in the 4th season of Narcos where Kiki finds this like million-plus-acre pot garden that Rafa Quintero had planted, and you see these like narcos picking up people and like poor Mexican farmers, and they give them like fucking a shit ton of money for one day of work. Then they're just picking weed, and now weed's legal, especially here. So was the weed really hurting anybody? Probably not. Were the narcos hurting other narcos for territory? Fuck yeah. And maybe sometimes some civilians got caught in the way. But I feel like Kiki pushed them to where they lost the pot, and now they had to go talk to the Colombians to go get cocaine. And that's what pisses me off, because like Kiki knew exactly what the fuck was happening. He saw how they treated people when they kidnapped him, and homeboy was still prideful and then ended up getting tortured and died. The only thing good that came out of that was that after Kiki died, the Colombian cartels wouldn't fuck with the DEA agents in Colombia. So it kind of like he took one for the team, and the other agents were kind of like in a safe haven where like drug dealers knew not to fuck with the DEA, because then USA would just send the US Army to get them. So they really didn't want to fuck with the USA. But I USA was corrupt with everything. I'm pretty sure those motherfuckers knew what was happening the whole time. They just didn't care. They just wanted to get money, and their pockets were fat, and they wanted favors from the Colombian government and favors from the Mexican government. But this last season of Narcos was fucking awesome. You see the rise of Chapo, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen there. I'm not spoiling anything. If you follow Narcos at all, Chapo made the tunnels, the U.S. and Mexico border. So I want to see how they portray that, because till this season, between Pablo Escobar, the Cali cartel, and the Federacion, which is the Mexican narco cartel, they've done a great job. Fucking next level storytelling when it comes to narco things. There's other like TV series that have tried to do the Pablo Escobar thing and the Narcos and the Mexican cartel stories. They just look like shit. They got this terrible kind of like amateur feel to it, and Narcos just looks like fucking James Cameron and Martin Scorsese were like, hold my beer. We're gonna tell you guys a real story with great picture, and I just love all the look of it. So that's my recommendation for this week. If you haven't seen any of the Narcos, I kind of envy you, because it's like reading a good book and then you finish it. You wish you hadn't read it so you could read it all over again, So I wish I hadn't seen it so I could see it all over again. Usually what I do is like I'll wait a couple months and then I'll just rewatch it again, and I forget little details, so it's kind of interesting again and stuff like that. But if I'm watching it more than once, a whole series, it's got to be good. Now I've only done that with a couple shows, so I encourage you to go watch it. You learn a couple of things. Not everything's kind of like 100% authentic, but I think the showrunners just kind of take like Hollywood liberties to make the story more compelling, but a lot of the facts are there, and they do this cool thing where they show like actual footage of news clips during the time. So they'll show the actual drug dealers getting arrested and what some of the warehouses they busted actually look like. They'll show you the actual footage, and I thought that was awesome. So it's a great show. Go watch it. Hopefully we got a couple more years where they explain Chapo's thing and Chapo escaping and stuff like that. I think whoever's the showrunner has a lot of material to work with, so I'm excited to see season 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm almost out of time, so thank you for watching, and get ready for these episodes to be available on Spotify and Apple Music. I'm working on that, and I'm very excited to do that. I'm gonna go review some of the episodes I've done, so then I could just elaborate more on maybe the friend zone or quitting your job or the money episode. All these episodes where I think I gave good advice. I'm gonna go review those and then put them on the podcast forms, and you guys could listen to them there. It would be easier to access and digest, and maybe you're at work so you can't be on YouTube, so this will help you guys listen to the show even better. So keep an eye out for that, and thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking. I'm out.